Hi, my name is Tim House. I'm a pastor from the Columbus area, and I'm here with three friends from the Center for Christian Virtue. And we wanted to come and be with you today to help you understand two critical elections that are before us, to understand what they're about and how we can respond. First, let me introduce to you Ruth Edmonds, who is the Christian Engagement Ambassador at CCV. Welcome, Ruth. Can you help us understand what's happening with these two different elections?
Yes. So August 8th is issue 1, and it is about raising the threshold for how many votes it takes to amend our foundational document, the state constitution. That's critically important because come November, citizens are going to be asked to amend the state constitution to codify abortion, and we don't want that. So we're making sure that we make it very difficult to codify those kinds of things in our state constitution. Yes on issue 1, no in November 7.
So if issue 1 passes, then the number of votes, percentage of votes to pass the amendment in the fall goes up from a simple majority to 60%.
Correct.
Is that correct? Thank you, Ruth, for that. Let's bring in David Mahan, who is the policy director at CCV. Welcome, David. Can you help us understand what is at stake in these two elections?
Yeah. Basically, if everybody can think back to when Roe v. Wade got overturned not too long ago, the excitement that everybody had that life was being preserved, that the unjust shedding of blood was going to be ceased on a federal level. Well, now all of that moves to the states, right? And so now Planned Parenthood and the ACLU are now moving to Ohio to try to codify a Roe v. Wade, but even worse, into our state constitution November 7th.
Yes.
And basically what it would do is it's abortion at any age, any stage. It's an egregious attack on parental rights.
Yes.
Opens the door for pediatric sex change procedures, in Ohio without parental consent.
Yes.
It's just a lot. There's only about 250 words in the actual language, but because it's so broad and by design, you can put a lot in there. For instance, where it says every individual has the right to reproductive rights and things like that. There's no mention of women in here. There's no mention of over 18 in here. Every individual means every individual. And you say, well, Dave, we have states, in our state, we've got strong pro-life laws already. Well, a constitutional amendment trumps all other statute in the state. And so what that means is if a law that we currently have for parental consent goes against that, then what happens is there's no way to enforce those laws that came before the constitutional amendment.
Yes. Now, David, if I'm correct, this has been put to a ballot in 6 other states already, and in every one of those states, abortion on demand and some of these reproductive rights has already been approved and written into the laws of those states.
Well, 3 states were to put abortion into the state constitution, like Michigan, and then 3 states were trying to actually put a life, constitutional amendment for life, and they failed. So basically, we are 0 for 6, and Ohio is in the crosshairs of Planned Parenthood and ASLU solely this year.
Critical for us to respond rightly. Let's bring in Chris. Chris Lightfoot's the director of the Church Ambassador Network. Chris, can you tell us how churches and pastors can make a difference and how we can help?
Yeah, thanks, Tim. I think the most important thing for churches and pastors to be aware of is their role and the platform that they've been entrusted by God and the opportunity that they have to speak truth into our culture for such a time as this.
Yes.
I was speaking with our CCV board last week and was reminded as I was reading through and preparing for some comments that Jesus makes one comment about himself that he also makes about us. I just thought I'd share that real quickly. In Matthew 5:14, he says, "You are the light of the world." In John 8:12, he says, "I am the light of the world."
Yeah.
Well, that's the only statement that Jesus made about himself that he also made explicitly about us. And this is an opportunity for the church to be the light of the world in a really tangible way. And this is not about politics, right versus left. This is about biblical truth and the issues that are in front of us. So
absolutely. Thank you all so much. You have put that so concisely and so well today. We can, friends, take a stand for life. We can make a difference. But to do that, we're going to have to do a few things. We're going to have to learn. We're going to have to pray. We're going to have to vote. And we're going to have to help others to do the same. Thank you for listening. I pray that you will do that with us. For more information, go to ccv.org or protectwomenohio.com. Thank you.